We got a roster ranking to go over. We've got a basketball game to discuss. And we got a lot of Bammers in the Super Bowl today.
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back into Locked On Bama, AHSA Radio Network's Luke Robinson, that's me. Alabama Internet legend Jimmy Stein, that's him. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. We'll talk about FanDuel in just a little bit. I want to thank you every day for joining us every day because you help make Locked On the number one sports podcast network. There is number one, like of all of them. It's pretty awesome. Of course, Alabama got a big win in Auburn yesterday, and some of the video of the radio team from Auburn doing the call has come out, which is always fantastic during an Auburn loss. Andy Burcham and whoever that guy is with him. I still don't know who that the color guy is, but it's really hilarious. And we're going to talk about Alabama's win in just a little bit. We'll start off with the countdown, though. Jimmy, you got a couple of guys that, frankly, I think most people would still be surprised if Keelan Russell and Austin Mack were behind them later on. But for the moment, I think you got them about right, and you're going to start with Kaden Jones.
Kaden is entering year 3 at Alabama, inside linebacker. Did not redshirt, came here, played right away, primarily special teams, been a good special teams player. Played a little bit at linebacker. This past year 2 for him, expanded his role in terms of playing more snaps on defense. Not a lot. Also got hurt, I think, against Missouri and missed some time. I believe he only participated in 10 of the games, and Alabama played 15 because Cayden was out for a few games. Look, there's a heck of a competition at inside linebacker between multiple guys for 2 vacant spots. Both spots are empty. They signed 1 transfer portal guy, and Caleb Woodson from Virginia Tech. I do think he's a serious contender to be one of the starters. The other starter could be any one of a number of guys, or it might not be Caleb Woodson at all. We'll have to see. There'll just be great competition. But Kaden Jones has to be a guy that you put near the top of the list. He's entering year 3. I refer to it as the developmental arc. That means what he does year to year and how he's improved is on track. I mean, he showed up a good prospect. He played right away. He played more in year 2. The next step for him, becoming a first-team player, either literally as a starter or a guy that routinely subs in with the ones. I feel very confident he's going to do that. He's a green dot type kid. This is a leader. This is a guy that can call the defense. He's very bright, great family, private school kid from North Carolina. I'm excited about Kaden Jones, Luke. I do feel like he's on the verge of becoming a good player. And hey, we talked about this with the quarterbacks. If the staff didn't think Kaden Jones and those young guys weren't good, they could have chosen to be very active in the portal at inside linebacker. They had every reason to. They weren't. Why? Just like at quarterback. They like what they have. They like Kaden Jones. They like QB Reese. I've heard good things recently about Luke Metz, which is not surprising at all. But, gosh, today, prior to spring practice starting, Luke, I like Kaden Jones to potentially win one of the starting spots.
I like that new designation. I think we got to use that more often. He's a green dotter. Yeah. For those who don't know, it means one of the ones that's getting communications, right?
Yeah, only one defender. You can only have one green dot guy on the field at the same time. It's usually a Mike linebacker or inside linebacker because that's the guy in the middle of the field. Why? Because that's the guy who sees the best, and he's the closest player to everyone else on the field, so they can hear him when he makes the calls. But it's sort of it's not unfair to say it's the quarterback of the defense. Certainly the quarterback of the front 7. And Caden's entering year 3. He showed up when DeBoer did. So this is a guy that's known nothing but the Kane Womack defense. I think going into year 3, he's a guy that knows it really well.
Yeah, and that can't be undersold. A guy that has been there, hadn't had to switch over from anything left over from Saban to now. And also, I mean, again, sometimes it's just better to have coaches may like guys that they actually brought in themselves and that they've, been able to teach the most versus guys that they feel like have to relearn. They have to unlearn the previous system and then relearn the new one. And that can be more difficult no matter how much experience you have. And then the next guy you have, by the way, Kaden Jones' parents are world-class people. As I've said a million times, I met them at the Oklahoma game. Couldn't have been any nicer. And they're fans of the show. And so that makes them
I've had
number
multiple
one in my
people.
book.
I've had multiple people rave to me about Kaden Jones' parents. Not just you, which is good enough, but I've had others that have met Caden's family, yeah. So no wonder the kid's great.
Well, and also to Kaden Jones' family, Jimmy has Kaden ranked criminally low.
30th best player.
On my list, Caden's like number 2 or 3. I can't remember. It may have been 1. It was in there because I was like, I put a lot of weight on the family awesomeness as a whole, and Jimmy doesn't. Jimmy just doesn't do it that way.
I think it's a rave in this sense. If I was doing a preseason top 25, and I haven't, but if I would, I think I would have Alabama right at 12. So I have Kaden Jones as the 30th best player on the 12th ranked team. Okay. I don't know if that's low or high. I don't know. To me, it's good. To me, it
seems like you're trying to confuse me with math, which is what I think a lot of my teachers did in elementary school, and I never forgave them. Okay, your next guy is Edric Hill. We like him a lot.
Yep.
Time for him to have a breakout year, if you ask me. Good a time as any.
His developmental arc has been similar to Caden's in the sense shows up a fairly highly recruited guy. Now he redshirted. That's typical of linemen. That's what you expect for almost every offensive and defensive lineman, even in 2026. He shows up, he redshirts. Didn't play much. Year one, which was 2024 for him, played. Finally got on the field and played as a redshirt freshman. That's impressive. Did he play with the ones? Not much, but it's impressive that he's on the field as a redshirt freshman. Now, last year he took a step. Now he became a regular player with the ones. Might surprise people. I got some numbers that are going to shock some people here. And while I might have Edric Hill a little underrated. You know, if I said Edric Hill, he's a starter, I think most Alabama fans would go, do you watch the games? That's crazy. He's not a starter. He started 3 games. Mm-hmm. Alabama played 15 games last year. Edric Hill started 3 of them. So he has been a starter. Secondly, I think any player who regularly plays with the ones when the game is in doubt against the best teams we play is a starter. I know people are going to semantics but I mean, you know, if you either play with the ones or you don't. He plays with the ones. Here's some more numbers that might surprise people beyond he started 3 games last year. On a per snap basis, he was more productive than James Smith. On a per snap basis in terms of tackles for loss and sacks, I don't know what else we would be judging defensive linemen on. He was more productive than James Smith on a per snap basis. I think Edric Hill is very good. I think he's going to be a critical player. I don't project him to be one of the top 3 guys right now in terms of who I think is going to today, who's going to win the starting spots on the defensive line, I would go Devin Tompkins at Bandit, Terrence Green at nose guard, London Simmons at defensive tackle. That's what I think today. But I think Edric Hill is probably next up. And what I'm hoping, and I hope Kane Womack's listening, he often does. What I hope we see is those big dudes. That's a big defensive front that I described. Tompkins, Green, Simmons. That's huge for a defensive front. What I would like to see on the obvious passing downs is those 3 out. And who do you put in? Umeozulu at Bandit, the pass rusher from South Carolina. And inside, maybe Edric Hill would be definitely a guy inside because I think he's a guy that's going to rush the passer. And another guy that they deem as a better interior, Jeremiah Beeman, actually. So Jeremiah Beeman and Edric Hill next up because I see them as better pass rushers than those 3 starters. But I got that from Saban. I'm sort of situational with players in the front 7, and I like being big against the run and being smaller against the pass.
You haven't done Jeremiah Beeman yet because he's sort of a forgotten piece of the entire puzzle. Yeah. I mean, he got hurt so early, and I think he was on track to have a good year. He just got hurt. And I think people sort of forget about him. But you haven't done him yet, right?
We've not done him yet, and and that's because I do have him as a, you know, to me a starter, quote co-starter. And again, I like that second team defensive line. So we got some pretty good depth on the defensive line again. But Zulu from South Carolina as an off the bench pass rusher at Bandit, and then Edric Hill and Jeremiah Beeman off the bench. I just think they're better pass rushers than Terrence Green and London Simmons. So I would just like to see that whole group in on third downs. And I'm not talking about 3rd and 3. I'm talking about, obviously, it's 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 10. I think we should be more situational. We were last year in Kane's quote defense. He doesn't need me to defend. First year 1, we didn't substitute a lot. Year 2, we did. We used a lot of different personnel packages. So we did do that some. I would just like to see it expanded myself.
No, I'm with you. We got to give basketball their flowers. They got to go into Auburn and get a big win. After some disappointing losses against Tennessee, against Texas, Alabama has come on strong these last couple of games. Right now, though, I want to tell you about FanDuel, because FanDuel's the best. Y'all know it is. I mean, I don't got to tell you. I mean, I'm going to because I'm contractually obligated, but I don't have to. The winter games are officially here, and if you're anything like us, you're locking in for events you only get to see on the biggest stage every 4 years. That's why following the winter games on FanDuel just makes sense. I hope you took Will Lindsey Vaughn crash again right after she just amazingly got done with another crash, and the answer was yes. And sadly, I mean, that girl is tough as $2 steak. From medal counts to individual events to finding your angle on the sports you care the most about, FanDuel gives you the more ways to stay connected in and into the action. The drama of curling matches. Yeah, you know that drama. That start slow and somehow get intense fast thing they got going on. Speed skating decided by inches. Hockey games that feel different right from the opening face-off. FanDuel keeps the entire Olympic experience engaging from start to finish. The Winter Games are on, and there's no better place to follow them than with FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel. Jimmy Stein guarantee. An international Jimmy Stein guarantee.
I haven't seen any curling yet. I've watched some of the Olympics, and shout out to Lindsey Vaughn for
giving
it the old college try, and it didn't work out. But gosh, one of the all-time American Olympic heroes, Lindsey Vaughn.
Well, she's 41, so like Charles Bediako, she's giving it the old college try. They're about the same age.
That's a good one.
Speaking of Charles Bediako,
oh yeah, that guy.
Yesterday, Alabama marches right onto the plains of Auburn. And they come out playing stinky bodinky. I mean, they just come out, turnover left, turnover right, turnover up the middle. And you think, I really did think, I think this game was going to go just the way I thought it would. I thought it would be one of those games where it's between a 4 to 12 point game in favor of Auburn the entire game. And then at the end, they out free throw us. And I thought Auburn would win by 8 or something. That's really legitimately what I thought. And that's what I predicted on the crossover show with Zach. And I know some people say, well, how can you not pick? When I'm picking games, I don't want to just pick who I want to win. Of course, I pick Alabama every time. So why even have a pick? I mean, I can just say I'm on default. So I really did think Auburn would win because really I didn't know how our team would be. Also, LeBaron Philon, there was talk he wouldn't play. Of course, he did, and he played super well. But he was a big part of those turnovers at the very beginning. The video that I referenced earlier, I can't even remember if I said it.
Yeah.
But Andy Burcham said on Aiden Holloway's 3-point shot that also got an and one, he was like, he makes the 3-pointer and he's fouled. And his little cohort, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, he goes, oh, no. It just makes me laugh so much because they take it as a personal affront that someone would have the audacity to call a foul on an Auburn player while they're broadcasting. It really is kind of funny. But there wasn't, that game, there's an Auburn fan blaming that on the refs. Get out of here. It wasn't, Doug Schals was doing the game. Neither one of us like him. I promise you this, he had never done Alabama any favors. So get out of here with that. That was just an interesting game. Alabama got hot at the right times. Alabama made their free throws unbelievably. They did a really good job of that. Charles Bediako, give him some props for the mental toughness of dealing with, the G League dropout chance. And again, I get it. I get that's what students are supposed to do. I get it. But for Auburn fans to say, hey, that's part of the game. Remember how offended y'all were that the Alabama DJ played son of a preacher man when Cam Newton came to Bryant Denny?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not even
and
really insulting. It's not even really insulting.
They were really insulted, and it's really
He is the son of a preacher man,
exactly.
and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's a great song.
It is a good song. I mean, I like the song, but I'm just saying, G League dropout's a little bit worse than that, and that's okay because Florida did it too. I was hoping Auburn would be a little bit more. I was expecting Auburn to be a little more creative, to be honest with you. But I think whether you agree with what's going on with Bediako or not, you've got to say the guy's been pretty mentally tough through this. I mean, you got to swallow some pride. Okay, you want to call him a G League dropout, so be it. But it's probably pretty hard for a guy like him to be like, I thought I was going to the NBA. Then I'm stuck in the G League for a little bit. I get an opportunity to go back to college, and yeah, I'm going to do it, but I know some people are just going to kill me for it. And some people like Dick Vitale, when they're not talking about Duke and North Carolina, this is all they'll talk about. And you got to be a little. So I'm giving him some props, and he won the Hardhead Award, and I thought he should have because I thought he played really well. Aiden Sherrill played well, I thought. Aiden Holloway, man, being 2-0 in Auburn against Auburn after that he transferred out of there is a big deal. I know he's 0-1 in Tuscaloosa. Don't think I don't know that. And of course Philon, man. The thing about Philon, yeah, he's going to drive you crazy with some bad turnovers early in the game. There's no doubt about it. He drove me a little crazy with that shot clock violation late in the game where he got sort of caught with Keyshawn Murphy on him. But in the end, he's a big shot maker. He's a playmaker. He's going to go out there and get something done. And really proud of the team. This was a big time win. Really helped separate them from Auburn. And I think this was I'm not going to say it's a turning point, but you look at these next 5 games. They're at Ole Miss on Wednesday. Then they come home to play a South Carolina team that's just not very good. Then they stay at home the next Wednesday to play an Arkansas squad that's playing very well. But, I mean, we've done pretty well against them in Tuscaloosa too.
That'll be tough.
Then you're on the road at LSU, they're just not good.
Winnable.
And then there's Mississippi State at home right after that. There's 5 games. I mean, you better go 4-1, if not 5-0.
And they can. And I think the win. I think the 2 wins this week. I don't know that there's too many teams in the country that had two better wins than wins over A&M and a road win against Auburn. That's 2 solid wins this week. And I think it just shows that there was an overreaction to the losses, to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
An overreaction, who I think proved yesterday, with beyond a shadow of a doubt, Florida's the best team in the SEC. Florida may win the national title again. And, in all of the hollering and hooting after the Florida loss, I felt like I was in the very back row saying quietly, y'all know that team might win the national championship. And boy, they just destroyed A&M yesterday at A&M. But too much overreaction to the losses. This team is still very, very good. Alabama's very good. Their ceiling is so high. Where I get really excited about this team is they can be better than that. I mean, I don't think Holloway's 100%. Philon probably wasn't 100% because that's why it was a game time decision. And Wrightsell, was lost for most of the game. This team has yet to have everyone there and everyone playing great. And when that happens, I don't know that anyone, including Florida, is going to be able to handle Alabama when all that happens. It just hasn't happened yet. And who knows if it will happen, because this team will certainly, it's a roller coaster and the dips are pretty low, but the highs are high. And yesterday was a high, and there shouldn't be an overreaction to that. All the issues aren't solved. They still turn over the ball. They're still going to have issues rebounding at times. They don't have a deep roster anymore because of injuries. And they're not super deep like we thought they would be to start the year. So there's still going to be issues, and the league is tough. But what a great, great, tough win. I like how you referenced mental toughness a couple times. To me, winning on the road is all about mental toughness and how they were able to block out that crowd and handle Auburn, who is clearly a good basketball team. That was nice. That was a fun win and nice. And now, as you pointed out, you got some manageable games coming up. Mm-hmm. But don't think for one second because, like, for instance, South Carolina at home next Saturday, you can't just roll the ball out on the floor and win the game. You can't. That's not enough. The logo, the brand doesn't win the game. You got to go win the game, and they do have SEC athletes. So I'm with Luke. I suspect 4-1 over the next 5 sounds right to me, and they can do that. But they still have to play well. Hopefully, can use this time to finally get healthy for that stretch run. Just
Wrightsell gets hurt again. TBB gets hurt again. I mean,
8 games left. Just 8 games.
Yeah, and at some point, and I love Latrell Wrightsell, but at some point we may have to say, dude, you just got to sit like 3 or 4 games. We can't, this stuff where you come in for a minute and then you're hurt, and you come in for a minute, and it's not his fault. I mean, maybe he's just injury prone, or maybe it's bad luck, whatever you want to chalk it up to. I sort of want to get a more solid flow going, but every time I say that too, then somebody else gets hurt. Keaton Bristow, I mean, I don't know if he'll play again this year, honest to God.
I'd be a little surprised. But we'll see.
I thought Alabama did a good job by handling it, walking out of the tunnel. I mean, there were a lot of Auburn students still saying things, and for the most part, Alabama folks handled it well. And one Auburn guy threw his orange shirt at Nate Oats, and he just picked it up and sort of did like a
thanks for the shirt
with it. Yeah, and I mean,
thanks for the shirt.
Free shirt, everybody. Yeah, I mean, I think it was fine. It was a little shocking. I'll say this. When I first started believing we might win this game is when I thought, or when I noticed that I didn't think their crowd was into it as I thought they'd be. Like, I could sense their nervousness through the television because they took a lead, and then we sort of made a comeback, especially right there at the beginning of the second half. And you could see them like every and over the crowd was either a surrender cobra or a pray into Jesus or Auburn Jesus, I should say. And I put a tweet out there that I liked. I mean, the phone rings. St. Peter goes, "Hey, you want me to get that?" Like God goes, "Okay, who is it?" He goes, "Well, it's Auburn calling you again." That's their thing. And he goes, "Nah, just let it go to voicemail." The idea that God has voicemail is funny to me.
The Auburn
God
folks,
gets spam calls. He's got to.
The Auburn folks pray a lot. Good for them. That's a tough, and and I'm with you, by the way. It was kind of an insane environment, but I almost expected it to be worse. And with the Bediako stuff, I sort of expected it to be even worse. But hey, G League dropout won the game, picked up a hard hat on the way out of the building.
Yeah, a big one. And I'm like you. I thought this was going to be one of our tougher games. It was a tough game, but in the end, I think Alabama's clearly the better team. I mean, I really believe that. I mean,
yeah, Alabama's better, and I think we'll see. It's crazy. It's hard to predict because of the injuries, but I'll say I think Alabama finishes top 4 in the SEC. I don't think Alabama's as good week to week, game to game as Florida is. I think they're the best team in the league. I think, most nights Alabama might be the second best team in this league. Might be. They have a ways to go, and again, they got to get healthier to prove that.
Yeah, A&M's falling off a little bit too.
Kentucky's good, and Arkansas's good. Arkansas is a good team. I watched Arkansas Mississippi State game all 40 minutes yesterday, and Arkansas is good. That Acuff kid, the freshman,
he's ridiculous.
Baller.
He's ridiculous. So, okay, got a couple of other things we're going to talk about on the other side of this, and got to give our Super Bowl picks. How about some Wayfair? Wayfair being back on board. Love us some Wayfair. Always have. And here's the little thing I got to put with it. Wayfair. The new year is here, and it's the perfect time to reset your routine and refresh your space. If you're spending more time at home, you might as well love how it looks and feels. That's why you should turn to Wayfair. It's a one-stop shop for getting your home back on the track. From bedding and mattresses to storage solutions for every room, Wayfair makes it easy to start your year fresh. Wayfair has everything you need from a full home refresh all in one place. Whether you're updating your living room, organizing your space, or upgrading your work from home setup, whatever you want, Wayfair's got it. So get organized, refreshed, and back on track. This new year for way less, head to wayfair.com. Right now, shop all things home. That's wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Then there's Indeed, which I've already told you how much I like saying Indeed. I feel like we should use it more here. And why can't I find the little thing that goes with it? Jimmy, it's got to be here somewhere. Here it is. Found it. didn't need your help after all. Hiring isn't just about finding somebody willing to take the job. It's about finding the right person with the right background who can actually help your business move forward. And if you want candidates who match what you're looking for, Indeed sponsored jobs is the move. Because instead of hoping the right person stumbles across your post, Indeed helps you match with quality candidates by boosting your job listing to the people who fit your specific criteria, like skills or certifications or location or whatever. If I were hiring, I wouldn't just want someone who can help. I'd want someone with real experience who can jump right on in there. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed sponsored jobs. Give me 9 in there. Before we get in the Super Bowl thing, I'll tell a tiny funny story because this is Sunday and why don't I throw one in there? So the other day I'm going to Birmingham Botanical Gardens because my company Robinson Iron has done some stuff over there, and they wanted me to check something out about should we restore this one thing, whatever. So on the way, I'm passing by, and if you know Birmingham, Lane Park's right there in this new shopping area, restaurant area. And I'm like, Jenny's Ice Cream's right there. And if you know me, I eat ice cream at least 1 to 2 times a day. Like typically 1, maybe 2, because I love ice cream and I love Jenny's. So I pop into Jenny's, I'm eating some ice cream, and then I get a phone call from my wife. She's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm on my way to Birmingham Botanical Gardens. She said, no, you're not. I said, I dang sure am. She goes, well, I'm standing right here by Char Bar, which is a restaurant directly across from Jenny's at Lane Park. She goes, your car's here, and I'm with the editor of something. And she's convinced you're spying on me because I told her you would still be in LXC today because I didn't know you were coming to Birmingham earlier. I didn't tell her I was coming to Birmingham earlier. I didn't think I had to. And when she came out of the restaurant, my car was right there. I got this like specialized tag and a little sticker that whatever.
It says ice cream. It says ice cream. Your tag.
It says ice cream lover. Forever. And then he said, that's my husband's car. And the girl she was with goes, do you think he's spying on you? She goes, no, I don't think he'd do that. I don't think this. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. And so I come walking out, and then she sees me. I'm holding a waffle cone with 2 big ass scoops of ice cream, just licking the crap out of it. And she goes, what are you doing? And so it was kind of funny that I had no idea where she was going to be. She had no idea where I was going to be. She sees my car. I'm at Jenny. She goes back to tell her team about it. And their team's like, wow, that's weird. That's weird. That's wild. Also, what grown man stops to get ice cream at 1:30 in the afternoon? It's like this grown man. They're not a bad take because there was nobody else in there.
That's a terrible. What kind of grown man? This one, I would do that for sure. As a matter of fact, this whole conversation has made me want ice cream. And I think we have some, and I'm going to eat some as soon as this is over.
It reminds me of Louis C.K. one time was talking about how much he loves Cinnabon. He said, today when I came in to do this show, there's always a Cinnabon in the airport. I got something to eat at the Cinnabon at the airport I arrived at. Do you know how bad that is? He goes, all I had to do was walk out the door and leave. Like if you're going to get a Cinnabon before your flight, you're there a little early. You got a little time.
Yeah, because you got time to kill. You got time to kill before the flight. After the flight, everybody wants to get to where they're going. He's stopping anyway.
Said there was 1 Cinnabon left, like they're about to close. And the guy was like, man, this thing's been out here all day. You sure you want it? And he goes, yeah, I want it. He goes, are you sure? He goes, listen, dude, I'm getting that Cinnabon. You decide if we're going to be in the paper or not, but I'm getting that Cinnabon. It's pretty funny. So, all right, Super Bowl picks. I mean, got a bunch of Bammers in this thing. I'm a big Anthony Jennings fan, obviously, from Dadeville, my neck of the woods. Christian Barmore. Who else does New England have?
CJ Dupree. CJ Dupree. Yep. Who's undrafted, as we know. I pitched several rants about that last year, and as usual, I'm right. The 32 NFL teams were wrong. CJ Dupree is an NFL tight end, and he will be in the Super Bowl today, along with another Alabama NFL tight end, Robbie Oust, who's tight end / fullback for the Seahawks, who featured Josh Jobe, Jaron Reed, and Jalen Milroe. So Alabama leads all colleges with number of players in today's Super Bowl. No one has more than 7. Or up to 7 like Alabama's got. So awesome showing by the Tide in terms of the Super Bowl. And, I think a good question is this: which Alabama player of the 7 will have the biggest impact on the game? Doesn't have to be in a winning effort. Doesn't have to be a losing effort. I might go Barmore, in terms of who has the biggest impact on this game. I would say Christian Barmore, though spoiler alert, I'm not picking the Patriots to win the game.
I'm going to say Anthony Jennings because he's been in the most.
Homer.
And
Homer
I think
call.
he's got a track record of doing well in this thing.
Well, he certainly has big game experience. Nick Saban's Alabama will do that for you. I do think the game could be close, and I think it'll be kind of exciting. I just think Seattle wins. I think they're a better team, and I think they're going to win by a touchdown. And I feel really good for Sam Darnold, who's a great example of why you don't give up on players too early. I mean, some franchises gave up on Sam Darnold, who's going to ultimately prove to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Despite being doubted. I mean, how crazy is that? You're like the number 1 pick or wherever he was. If he wasn't number 1, he's close to it. And then you have doubters. I think that's kind of a weird thing we set up for ourselves as football fans. But I think this is Sam Darnold's game and Sam Darnold's season, and he'll be your Super Bowl MVP of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
Yep. All right, that's going to do it for today's pod. Wow, I got to go clear my throat, I guess.
Do it with ice cream. That's what I plan to do next. Thanks to you.
Nothing clears up your throat like a good bowl of thick ice cream.
Your live read, once again, works. Your live reads work. I'm going to eat ice cream based on your live read about ice cream.
I was going to go work out after this. I think I will also go get ice cream. Really sort of the same thing.
Super Bowl Sunday, right. Holiday.
It is a holiday. All right. Until next time, roll tide, everybody.
Roll tide.